Is there anybody going to listen to my story? All about the girl who came to stay. She's the kind of girl you want so much it makes you sorry. Still you don't regret a single day. Oh girl,
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in this world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. Though we may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. 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 There will be an answer. Let it be. 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 Whisper words of wisdom, let it be.
Well, without a doubt, I could say this is the most difficult thing I've ever done. So, I've enlisted the help of some of Erin's family members and Erin herself to tell her story in words and pictures and video. So I'd like to introduce Erin's mother, Kathy Better, lives in Boca Raton. Erin's brother, Matt Willinger, lives in Baltimore, Maryland. Yeah. Erin's cousin, Melissa. Okay. Together, we're going to take you on the journey of Erin's life, not only from our perspective, but really as told to us by her closest friends, and much of it by Erin herself in her own words. Since these friends live on every single continent except Antarctica, we'll speak their words for them, and we'll share the videos and the photos that they made. And I do want to stress that none of these were made by us. These all were videos either that she did herself or that her friends did. The conclusions that we came to realize is that Erin should be remembered mainly for three things. She was a citizen of the world who traveled most of her life. She was very open and caring. She was making deep and lasting friendships on every journey. And she was an intellectual and social and environmental advocate who wanted to fix the world. She was born on July 11, 1983, and we named her Michael Erin Willinger. Her mom had a childhood friend named Mikey, and we agreed that it sounded like fun name. And within the next 48 hours, we began to see the error of our ways as the various baby nurses came in with our daughter to groom for feeding and announced, "Here he is." Well, if diapering a child isn't sufficient to overcome the sex bias of a name, then we figured it was hopeless. So we demoted Michael to the middle name, and we can still call her Mikey anyway. And Mikey seemed to fit. She was as lively, curious, and precocious as the name sounded. Her love of books and reading was insatiable. However, in her preschool years, her favorite book seemed to be Where the Dinosaurs. We read it over and over, and she asked lots of questions. And to this day, when I meet someone in the neighborhood and we realize that our children went to school together, I often hear, "Oh, you're Erin's dad. My child are in a facile life with your daughter." Well, the ability to read and express herself made success in school easy for her, and she complemented her academic skills with a love of dance and movement. She attended Paulette's Ballet School from the age of 4 to 18, and then she continued on at Vassar College with the highly regarded Vassar Dance Theater, where she also started her own hip-hop dance troupe. In high school, Erin excelled at mock trial, where the Newton North team went all the way to the national finals. And I was thought she'd end up as a lawyer. But what would become her great passion in life, traveling the world, began early when we started to take her on trips. Besides the U.S. trips, we took her over to England and France one year, Australia and New Zealand on another. And by the end of high school and into her college years, she was taking every possible opportunity to fly off. She visited Cuba in 2001 with New York, and again in 2002, second trip to Cuba with a Vassar group. And where other kids would think of the day at the age of being Cape or near Tasca, Erin would go off with a friend to Belize. And as an intern at the New York Attorney General's office, she met someone from Finland working there. So her next summer internship was in Helsinki with the League for Human Rights. Erin would repeat this process, and for her, it was about the people she would meet, and the local culture and climate that she would experience. And as you can see, and not all of these suitcases represent individual places, but regions of the world that she covered. So you can see that she's pretty much covered every continent, and this kind of defined who she was. And Matt, her brother, will now read from an article that we saw in the Huffington Post that sort of gave an idea of what it would be like, Erin.
This pretty much describes Erin to a T. It's called Don't Date a Girl Who Travels. Don't date a girl who travels. She's hard to please. Chances are she can't hold a steady job, or she's probably daydreaming about quitting. She doesn't want to keep working her ass off for someone else's dream. Don't date a girl who travels. She might have wasted her college degree and switched careers entirely. She is now a dive instructor or a yoga teacher, as Erin was. Don't date a girl who travels, for she has chosen a life of uncertainty. She doesn't have a plan or a permanent address. She goes with the flow and follows her heart. Don't date a girl who travels, as she tends to speak her mind. She will never need you. She knows how to pitch a tent and screw her own fins without your help. She talks to strangers. She will meet many interesting people, like-minded people from around the world who share her passion and dreams. She will be loyal.
Erin in Finland. Erin writes her parents from Finland. Hey, Rents. Arrived in Helsinki in one piece, well, in 3 pieces, including my luggage. Timo was right there to greet me at the airport and then promptly whisked me into town in his BMW. We had Turkish food and good Finnish coffee. Timo tells me true Finnish coffee is strong enough to wake the dead, which is good because apparently drinking Finnish beer is a little like dying. First day on the job has been quite exciting. This morning, a film crew came to gather footage for a film a health organization is making that wants to feature the work of the Finnish Human Rights League. I sat there smiling and nodding when everyone else did, with a slight delay on laughing at office jokes. It was in Finnish, after all. Some projects I may be working on are writing an article for the monthly magazine for the public, helping with the xenophobia racism project, and helping transpose transcripts of interviews with refugees. So once again, I'm this eclectic office task doer. Works for me.
Erin met a friend in Helsinki. Anja Eriksson, Helsinki, Finland. She wrote, Erin was amazing. She was very genuine and open-minded towards everyone, and she had a way of making people feel special. I met her in Helsinki in the summer of 2003. I started an internship in an NGO Finnish League for human rights, and a few weeks later, Erin started in the same place. I remember the first day we met. I instantly liked her. She was bubbly and bright, and she smiled a lot, and she had an air of a worldly woman, even at that age. We soon became friends and explored Helsinki by day and by night. She was very honest and direct about her. She would tell frankly exactly what she thought, so you would always believe her. Her appreciation of the good in other people made her someone everyone wanted to be around. She was the life of the party wherever she went, not just actual parties. My parents loved her, and when she visited for a Finnish Christmas one year, my mom loved it when she ate all the traditional Christmas food, and even got my shy little sister to speak some English with her. I think it was her accepting, relaxed manner of being. She was really smart and interested in the world around her. She had these amazing ideas and shared them. Talking with her was never dull. I love the way she took her ideas into action, trying to change the world. I think she did change the world for many people. She was a fearless girl and lived her life to the fullest. She had an attitude to learn from. When I traveled with her to Belize and Guatemala, her courageousness rubbed off on me. We signed up for a scuba diving course. We went climbing on some pretty high pyramids in Tikal, despite my fear of heights. And it was amazing. We rode a mechanical bull in a festival in order to win t-shirts. She had a great way of making others think that almost anything is possible, and it's worth giving it a try. I really admired that. I was so lucky to have her as a friend. Adi and Erin would meet up in various places.
Erin writes her parents from Guatemala. Dear Mara and Father, I'm a little out of sorts from walking around in the Guatemalan sun, but I thought dumping into an internet cafe for a bit would prove a great excuse to rest. Ani and I arrived safely from the States after an amusing delay for a night in North Carolina, where we ended up spending a rainy afternoon in a sports bar hosting the Ohio State football team alumni party. Yeah. It was an evening in Belize City after that, then scuba diving in Kai Kalker, and after a few days of paradise, a non-dash to Guatemalan border to reach Tikal by tomorrow at sunrise. Yes, when I come back, I will be a certified scuba diver. That means I can deal with very uncomfortable pressure in the eardrums, the danger of their clothing, an unsightly layer of mucus covering my nostrils in my mask, and salt water leaking into my face over 40 meters deep. So far, we've had direct encounters with a manatee and a stingray, but I'm holding out for the dolphins we were promised at the beginning of our trip. I am safe and healthy. No pythons have made dinner of me yet, but then again, we go to the jungle tomorrow. The following year, Erin bought a ticket to Beijing, embarking on an ambitious itinerary to learn Chinese and teach English.
These are some words from Erin when she was in China. Off the bus from Kunming, I was confused and dejected. I quit Chinese in Kunming. 4 hours a day of saying but no was simply not the romantic crouching tiger, hidden dragon idea I had in mind. Of horseback riding through the desert and deep Confucius thought sharing. So I went north to Beijing on the suggestion of Sun Yi, my teacher. We still text, although I dropped out, and found a place called Magaduji's. It's a hostel, and for about $5 a night, you get a nice room and a bathroom, and free dinner and breakfast. Upon my arrival, I ended up in an odd foursome. One was Japanese, looking to pose as a Tibetan to cross the border without paying heavy visa fees. An Israeli with a complaining disorder, who somehow travels and yet seems to hate most things about travel. And a Chinese girl who reminds me of Data from Star Trek. Very technical, precise, a great planner, and fluent in Chinese and English. So a must-have instant buddy, although peculiar in her Data as managers. Then later on, I met a Dutch girl in Vita Femke, who I quite liked very much. We may just end up being together for a large chunk of our time over the next 3 months. She too plans to go to Southeast Asia.
And Vietnam. Erin writes, this morning, me and 4 American compatriots were hiking down the side of Mount Fazbad near the Sapa Valley in the north. Very beautiful. The peak was surreal. We were walking through the mists of the bamboo cloud forest. But I've discovered I'm more of an ocean gallant than a mountain one. No need for any more summit mounting for me for quite a while. It's very hard to climb 10,000 feet with simply arms and legs. At a train station, about to hit Hanoi, and from there, it's to Hulon Bay. After that, I'm going to Cambodia to meet up with Femke. And it's from there we'll do some diving, do the diving school, and after that, it's Laos, Thailand, and then I'll teach for 2 months.
Now Erin's in Thailand. Koh Pha Phangan is a little island that is like one giant rock sticking out of the water, the wild jungle. On the edges of the beach is white sand, where most of the development is, the only downer being the long stretches of shallow shore reaching out 200 meters before the water gets deeper than its knees. This being said, there are roads along the perimeter, but to traverse the island, there's asphalt and gravel and then dirt. I rented a motorbike, and I'll tell you, nothing feels better than riding through the jungle, hearing the motor of your one-woman show, zoom, zoom, zigzag, into the mystery of this or that turn. Then there's the hills and mysterious piles of rock that look out for it. Of course, it was less than 50 meters to my destination that I had to wipe off. I was cursing and staggering on one foot. The right one got pinned under the bike for longer than I would have liked. but I cleaned up fine, and it's just an annoying bruisey injury. Nothing that willing to fix itself in a week or so. I was wondering about things like karma, independence, and lack of direction leading to cosmic punishment as I was climbing the hill back to where the bike was after I had some time to recollect myself for the long ride home. And wouldn't you know, they had it that a Thai gentleman and his girlfriend just then hobbled down the road on their scooter and wiped out in the exact same spot. So much for cosmic signals. It's merely a hidden wipeout zone in a road as it changes from asphalt to dirt. From there, I took a boat back to the sanctuary. Only this time, I let curiosity lead me up the sea cliff and found 500 baht. That's Thai currency. 500 baht bungalow perched 16 meters above the sea, with a clear view of jungle and Indian Ocean. The fun part is a Thai boxing boot camp. I've had 2 training sessions so far, and I'm buff. If anything, Thailand is teaching me that dreams do come true. Now I have a video of me by the friend something.
Drive a little bit further. Don't get out, the morning wants to keep us safe in here. Resting on your shoulder. We won't go until there's no more people out there. You can make it click, making me pop. Going for the gold with a clean cut. Searching no more, all melodies are coming ashore, flushing over me. You are all over my rainbow, taking a scene in my crazy dream. Only you are on my rainbow, no one else here, nothing gets near you. Nothing's fast or slow. It's in between where red and green and lands and oceans meet. Peacefully I'm quiet, 'cause nothing here is mad, bad or dangerous to know. You can make it click, making me pop. Going for the gold with a clean cut. Searching no more, all melodies are coming ashore, flushing over me. You are all over my rainbow, taking a scene in my crazy dream. Only you are on my rainbow, no one else here, nothing gets near. You can make it click, making me pop. 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 You are all over my rainbow. You can make it click, making me pop. 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 And this feeling shows how to make a rainbow.
Is it a video?
La 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 la
Well, here we are at the end of our journey.
Yes, and
Don't cry. I will try not to cry.
yes.
Well, what can we say?
What can we say?
We got our
Let's
VIP.
drink wine.
Yes, we have some wine. And we can drink it.
L'chaim.
L'chaim. To the wine. To the end.
To the adventure.
To the adventure.
Till we will meet again.
The VIP hostel pass that we
A year later, Erin was very involved with African dance at the Cambridge Dance Complex and signed up for a total immersion class taking place at a small village in Mali. In Mali, Africa. By dusk, a heavy fatigue swept over me, a sincere weariness brought on by the travel of the dance. The air was smoky and pregnant with the melange of the drumming and dancers. They alternated between low, heavy shuffles and energizing skipping, all in unison but individually variant all the same. I was seated on a strong wooden bench next to four small boys who barely occupied the space of two full-grown men. We returned to our camp soon after sunset. The stars were obscured under a netting of indigo clouds, and the moon was set in a sphere of scintillating yellow light. Abdullah made tea over hot charcoals while the others spoke of the permanence of mountains. Sekou explained, "May you be full like a mountain and not like a river. When a mountain is full, it is permanent and stays over many centuries. But when a river is full, the water rushes out from it and spreads across the earth." I stole into bed and fell into a deep sleep, disturbed only by Sekou's whisperings of, "Have I eaten?" and that "it is good to eat." The rain came down soon after, consumed my thoughts with the noise, and these were the moments in which I was certain that it would collapse the tent right then and there, and that I would rather stay as it was and have God do as He would than disturb my repose in this place. The morning bore the evidence of rain. The air was fresh and filled me with that strange delight of living, if only to lay witness to creation's simplest yet most profound majesties. The sunrise breaking over the horizon, the clouds cracking over a blue-violet sky in the manner ice cracks by the force of a hammer. Wild birds skittered about in clusters of 3 or 5, livening the landscape and the subtle reminder that once again, to be human is not to be special. 5 days ago, I dreamt that I caught a brown dove in my hands and set it free.
Erin had 3 very close friends as well as the ones we've spoke of before. The first one is Ilyana, who provided the Let It Be video that you saw at the opening of the service. The second is Tatiana. My dearest Tatiana, it is your friend, Erin Michal, your ancient friend, your new friend, The friend with words like waves and moods like oceans. The friend that you said to once, whenever you feel like writing a long email, write to me. So here I write to you an email. For the sake of fun, we can pretend it is a paper letter, and I am sending it in the mail. That you are holding it in your fingertips, and the paper is soft and smooth to the touch, and the words are written in a flowing dark blue cursive. What is it you say? What say you, Tatiana, who predicts the future with stunning accuracy? Where is home for me? Where can I plant these feet? Will I ever get my wild desert and my spirit man? Next year, Erin goes to Israel.
Erin made that video herself, actually. Erin lived in Israel for 4 years and completed her degree in psychology. Erin's words to the family read, with so many thanks and appreciation for supporting me through all the rough and tumble of growing up and finding things out, the defiance and the heartache, the world wandering and academic meanderings, the in and out of relationships and apartments. I have a safe home in Israel and a wonderful family that gives me fond and kind regards, even from far away. What a unique and special place I have come to find in this world. And it is the support of all of you that kept me from falling too far. Thank you so much for every help and kindness, even when I made mistakes. Someday, not too far away, I will have solid ground under my feet to be able to make a beautiful, safe place for everyone. A while ago yet, with graduate school and choosing a career, but I'm learning it's peace within the journey of uncertainty that eventually makes happiness from the inside out.
Over the years, Erin went by several different names. During her time in Israel, she reclaimed Michael as her first name, but in more Israeli flair, she pronounced it Michal. These words are from her friend David, who's from the Czech Republic. I met Michal in September 2009 in a small grocery store in Herzliya, Israel. She looked at me and saw I was lost. She smiled at me and asked if I was all right. With my terrible English and European tendency to avoid a conversation, I responded that I was okay, not expecting an answer. However, Michal was persistent, and I was trying to keep up. In a moment, there was a little spark telling me I had found something special. 1 year later, Michal came to Karlovy Vary in the Czech Republic. Michal described it as a fairy tale in the middle of nowhere. Everybody who she was introduced to absolutely loved her. She has a special spark in her eyes, which is very difficult to describe, but easy to remember, said my friend Susan. She brings such a positive feeling, everybody feels so connected to her. Michal told me that a dream does not simply become reality, but rather it takes a lot of hard work and determination. She proved she was right. I'm grateful for this, and I will never forget her positive personality, beautiful smile, ambitious and fearless attitude. I loved her, and she will always live in my heart. And now here, this is a video created by her.
Gorgeous, darling.
Okay, here's snow bread, here's snow bread, there's snow bread, there's snow bread.
How do you know? What's this one? Now what are you expecting?
Snow bread.
Okay.
You're beautiful.
David, why are you so nice to me?
I know.
Why are you so nice to me? Answer me that question.
I can reach. You know that I can use somebody. You know that I can use somebody. Someone like you.
You were a big jerk in the supermarket the first time.
No way, I can't believe it.
Remember? You were in the line with Iona?
I didn't even know what I was saying, like, I didn't know English. So, like, I was like, Iona was translating.
Maybe I knew you were Tarzan. Now you're like Shakespeare.
Oh my god.
It's true.
Why are you so nice to me?
Someone like you.
Two liras.
2 lira?
Yeah. This is a tip.
Really?
Yeah.
I have a tip. Tuck in the sheets!
Michal keeps saying, we're not gonna take these shitty tours anymore.
Yeah, I said that.
Oh, jeez.
Well, we're going to pay €4 to see a waterfall for 20 minutes. And then we're going to pay €3 to see an amphitheater for 20 minutes.
And then we're gonna buy some leather, right?
And we're going to buy some leather for 1 hour for absolutely free.
What you say?
I heard that you're settled down, that you found a girl and you're married now. I heard that your dreams came true. Guess she gave you things I didn't give to you. Old friend, why are you so shy? Ain't like you to hold back or hide from the light. I hate to turn up out of the blue uninvited, but I couldn't stay away, I couldn't fight it. I had hoped you'd see my face and that you'd be reminded that for me it isn't over. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best of you too. Don't forget me, I beg. I'll remember you say sometimes it lasts and loves, but sometimes it hurts instead. Sometimes it lasts and loves, but sometimes it hurts instead. You know how the time flies. Only yesterday was the time of our lives. We were born and raised in a summer haze, bound by the surprise of our glory days. I hate to turn up out of the blue uninvited, but I couldn't stay away, I couldn't fight it.
Erin met Alex Janela the first time she was in Israel. Alex couldn't be here, but here are some words that he said.
No? That's Alex.
Alex is the redhead, surprise.
The next slide has a little speaker in it. Welcome to town.
I have only met Erin a couple of times over the years, and never twice in the same country. Yet Erin is the most fascinating person I have ever spoken with. She's passionate, thoughtful, determined, and to her mind, Erin thinks on so many levels at the same time. Not always about the most practical things, but abstract, sometimes very deep, humorous, and poetic. And sometimes her subtlety is only realized long after her words were spoken. I feel very fortunate that much of our conversations were in writing, because otherwise I would have misunderstood most of what Erin was saying. But Erin wanted to change the world for the better, and I believe that was well understood by most people who have met her. I'd like to share one such story. Now, I have to preface any story about an adventure with Erin by beginning, "You're not going to believe this, but it's all perfectly true. I was there." 5 years ago, on my way from Guatemala to Denmark, I stopped by Israel because catching up with Erin is like playing Carmen Sandiego, a worldwide game of Twister, an unbounded hide-and-seek. While one rarely knew where Erin was or what she was doing, one could be certain that it was fascinating. Erin was in the process of becoming Catholic and was scheduled to be baptized in Boston in the spring. So in the meantime, she took the opportunity to try out being a Jew for a while. Of course, what better place to exercise both Catholicism and Judaism than to visit the Holy Land? And while on a Jewish retreat, among many other things, Erin wanted to help the poor, including the Palestinians, and perhaps that led to some conflict of opinion. You see, Erin was perfectly aware of structures and boundaries, or at least she was aware that everyone else seemed to agree that boundaries existed. But she simply didn't believe in them. Country borders, religious denominations, race, gender, even languages were just artificial barriers between two people or many. Erin wanted to tear down walls and bring people together. She believed that that was one of the core tenets of all religion. To cut through the bullshit, love all without prejudice, give generously, and seek harmony with and for everyone. And she was right. But not everyone agreed. And sometimes the more she tried to break social structures and chains around her, the tighter those same chains were applied to her own wrists. And I think that was her great struggle. Freedom, expression, opening minds, truth. So anyway, Erin and I rented a car and drove around Israel. We saw some ancient sites, hiked in the desert, visited towns that you might know from the Bible, and floated in the Dead Sea. But what I remember best was back in Jerusalem. Let me tell you, there is no more magical experience possible than walking around the ancient city of Jerusalem with Erin. She will make you believe in a power far greater than yourself. A truly religious experience. I mean it. Down on your knees, arms in the air, in awe. I won't try to explain that. So after submitting our prayers in the Western Wall, having been escorted out of Haram al-Sharif, the Temple Mount, by Israeli military, we visited the Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem and attended Mass. We were just two of about a dozen participants in the beautiful old cathedral. The service was a bit long, and it was in Arabic, and Erin wanted to stay to the end. In fact, she urgently wanted to chat with the Archbishop of Jerusalem. Eventually, we were invited to a private discussion with His Excellency. Erin related the miracles of life and the glories of the universe, and these two beings discussed everything and nothing for quite some time. I suppose the Archbishop, or the auxiliary bishop, thought the conversation might not have been abstract enough. So he asked, "Erin, what is your relationship to Jesus?" Erin answered as best she could and continued to explain that she thought Jesus on the cross symbolized a tree rooted in the ground, reaching up to heaven. This tree represented nature, our relationship to nature, and transcendence. Transcendence not from nature, but transcendence from ourselves. Perhaps Jesus thought we needed to take better care of God's creation. Jesus' death on the cross and redemption was a message for the modern world. Our earth is bleeding and needs to be resurrected. The gentleman representing the Catholic Church listened attentively. I believe he was surprised by Erin's interpretation of the gospel. With some concern for Erin, he said, "Erin, God created this world for your enjoyment. You should simply ask, God, what do you want?" I suppose this was meant to comfort Erin, and it was well received. But it was my opinion at that moment that God had already told Erin what God wanted. And Erin was there to share with the Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem what God wanted. And it was good.
Not wanting to live a corporate life, Erin dedicated herself to yoga. She began a new series of travels to yoga instructor retreats in Peru, Costa Rica, Miami, and Guatemala. Erin in Costa Rica. My dearest Tatiana, I am in Costa Rica in a place called Dominicana. I completed the TEFL Teaching English course and a yoga therapy course, and the bootcamp teacher training course, so now I have a few random certifications I can play with. I'm not sure why the universe seems to dislike offering me a stable home and job. Obviously, internally, I am restless and both full of energy and lacking energy. And obviously, Luke can handle me all at once for extended periods of time. As great as I am at making deep friends off the cuff, I am talented at alienating them or losing them. And it is always because of the perception I give off that I somehow do not want or care, that I'm not vulnerable or yielding enough to their feelings, when inside, I always feel as if I'm constantly in a state of surrender to everyone else around me, never wanting to stake a claim anywhere for long without a solid invitation which never quite seems to arrive. It is a piercing, penetrating freedom that persists, and the desire to simply be obedient to something comes. And then, of course, if I do find something to be obedient to, it is not worthy of my obedience, for long before its flaws crumble its integrity, consistency for me, for how I see things. Where am I going from here? I wonder if the construction of my thinking is such that I will always be disappointed with everything, and the simple goals of a community of strong women, plus nature, plus comfort and security, plus a meaning-minded mission. Well, now that I've scoured the world looking out for these things, it seems that I'm either not invited or that there is no invitation to be sent. There are simply not many women like me gathering in groups. People are allergic to adventure these days. Everything has to be included. I have the urge to cut my hair and just disappear into the jungle with tame monkeys and develop mosquito repellent from citronella berries.
By July 2013, just after her 30th birthday, Erin left for India on a humanitarian mission. She wasn't supposed to stay, but something about the people she met made her want to be part of the community. Erin wrote an email late January 2014. I'm not an idealist. There are times in life where if you don't help, no one else does, and my skills are spoken for here in a way that is satisfying medicine. With passion and hard work, funding is inevitable. Most recently, Erin quoted Ani DeFranco, one of her favorite singers. They can call me crazy if I fail. All the chance that I need is 1 in a million they can call me brilliant when I succeed. Erin started a project in Agra, in India, called Agra Sundar Island, beautiful island. Erin writes, on my own, I've organized 7 institutions, had 3 speaking engagements, over 200 students each, and I'm going to Cancun for an international conference to speak in front of 500 more on the matter of the environment. I'm doing a fine job, and I have plans for the future. I have a lot of support, but it's loose. I'm a connector. I bring together various data sets into one narrative that spans the international and local. But I myself belong to neither. This can be a great strength for us because we can operate simultaneously in many groups and gain the trust of people that normally don't trust one another. The mission target is for business to unite in the environment, and if this gains momentum to create an enforcing body of environmental law, but we don't tell people that. This is a simple project to make the city of Agra beautiful. There are already 2 million tourists coming here a year, spending money at hotels and visits to the Taj Mahal. But they're walking through filth and decay to get there. Is this fair for the working poor of the city who see none of the benefits of their city's historical heritage? My project is to also use art, culture, and dance to bring the beauty to Agra. I have the support of many levels of the city, from the working poor to the official tourist guide. My second national press conference is on February 20th of February at Hotel World near the West Gate of the Taj. If this doesn't work, I'm going to walk to Nepal. If it does, I'm probably still going to walk to Nepal. I really enjoy myself, and I really pray and believe that money is nothing. I'm doing great work, even if it's clear I'm a little crazy.
Erin prepared this presentation for her press conference on February 20th. It shows her simple, practical approach to solving a danger problem. A message that benefits business, the environment, and ultimately the people of our group. Next. The focus is on clean water and solid waste management. Nothing fancy, nothing too expensive. Next. She isolated plastic as the first target, using readily available resources. Separation, next. Ozone, next. Building plastic-free zones, next. Until Agra is transformed into a beautiful image that she had. A place that will attract both commerce and prosperity for the people. I was notified that Erin had died that evening. And I feel it's up to me to keep this project alive. I have the good fortune to know several people who are part of the Rotary Club. Rotary Club's motto is service above self. So, in essence, Erin was a true Rotarian. Last month, I presented the project to the new Rotary, and they have adopted it into their program. This means that every dollar we raise is matched locally, nationally, and then again with Rotary International. That quadruples the impact and the effect. We've reached out across to the Rotary clubs in India and Agra itself, and they've responded very positively. I believe the woman who's now the presidency of the local news Rotary is with us today, and Director Sai, and she has had a lot of good success getting this adopted as an official international project for Rotary International. This is just a great thing. I hope to see Erin's dream become a reality. Next. So thank you for listening to Erin's story. I hope it inspires you as it does me to become a better human being. Thank you.